Hey everyone, welcome back to another bar by bar analysis. I hope everyone else had a pretty good day trading. Today was kind of rough in the markets. It was kind of volatile. When we saw trades start to set up, it would shake people out and then stop them out and go exactly where they thought the market was going to go. So it was definitely a hard day to trade. I had everything drawn on my chart and then I just erased all of my markers and all of my channels and stuff. So going back here for a bar by bar analysis. So let's just get right into it. We had previous day here with some previous price action. And as we move to the right here, we'll just start drawing in the channel. So I noticed that bar, this is all pre-market analysis. So we got prices moving within this channel up here. And before I forget, I'm just going to kind of draw in pre-market stuff. So we got level of resistance at the top. And support, resistance, and support here at the bottom. Okay. So what am I noticing? I'm noticing prices moving down. Um, Most likely, I was thinking, okay, prices could continue to trend down. I had a little bit of an overshoot here. Prices came back down, and prices are holding nicely below this EMA. They pop back up above EMA and then straight come back down. The EMA isn't respected. So when I see this kind of thing happen, prices come up, then come back down, EMA isn't respected, I'm kind of a little bit worried about what's going to happen here when prices come back up. This is market open at 8:30, just so we can get maybe a little bit more stuff drawn in. All right, that's something I'd probably recognize. Market opens. We had to break a little bit of consolidation here near the bottom of the support. And we'll see how prices react when they come back up to the EMA. And as they come back up here, we have a new low, first entry short. Prices move back up, second entry short. But I'm also not looking to go long just yet. I was thinking maybe second entry short failure and prices would have moved up, but still too early to look for those sort of things. We want to see how prices play out a bit. Up here, the trend line, confirming the trend line that we drew from pre-market hours. New high, first entry long, takes up first entry long here. We also have a new low, first entry short. Okay, nothing there. We do have a first entry long. Looking for a second entry long to trigger above this, and it doesn't happen. So what exactly am I looking at here? Well, because we're in a downtrend, overall context is telling us prices are going to continue to push downwards. We have new high. I was looking for a first entry long, second entry long to trigger and then fail. And we would look at going short. At least that's what was on my mind. We get a second entry long, triggers all the way down here, but we're not looking to go long below EMA in a downtrend. It doesn't make sense to look for longs just yet. I do see EMA flattening out a bit. So around this time, prices maybe, we could be looking at a range. Price is starting to break outside of this larger channel that we drew. We could be looking for a new low here. Okay, as prices move along, we have a new high. First entry long, and the second entry long triggered. The terrible signal bar in the middle of a trading range. We're not looking to go long. Got a new low here. First entry short coming. Second entry short, nothing happens. We do have I mentioned, yeah, the break of that bigger trend. And when we're in this trading range, we want to be drawing short-term trends. Right, so even if we had a little move here, break, move to a new low, prices were looking to reverse, go back high to the top of the range, and they do. Simple price action, break, new high, first entry short, second entry short. When I look back at it, this could have been a trade that people took going short back into the range. if you manage to find a trading range relatively early. First entry short, second entry short at the top of this range. We're looking for prices to move back down through the EMA to the bottom of this range. You would have gotten a scalp. First entry, second entry short. Okay, price is still fluctuating up and down. Above this EMA, got a new high. First entry long. Price is coming down, looking for a second entry long. Nothing. New low. First entry short. Second entry short. Not getting it. We are getting a nice, should probably draw a little channel from here up, and we'll see how prices react as they move higher. Kind of clean this up maybe just a little bit. We still have to draw in our short-term trend lines, the best we can. We would have seen break, new low, another attempt to go low, and prices are pushing above EMA. Okay, as prices continue to push higher, we adjust. We want prices holding neatly inside this channel. Clean break, looking for a new high. We got a new high, or we have this new high here. Prices coming down, looking for first entry long. Prices have moved relatively far from the type of channel that we had, so I'm not necessarily looking for a new high of this channel as of now. These prices have pushed strong towards the EMA. I want to see how prices react at the EMA. And as we see, prices are pushing through the EMA, coming back up. One thing I should draw, short-term trend moving down. And we do have a break of this trend. So we have trend moving down, break, looking for a new low. Starting from the bottom here, this low, first entry short, prices coming back up. First entry short, second entry short. This could be a trade that people take if it triggers. It's aggressive only because EMA is starting to flatten out. But we had this move happen. EMA isn't being respected that much, right? We don't see prices bouncing off the EMA. We see them shooting through the EMA. Then they come back up trying to test it one more time. New low first entry, second entry short triggers, and you would have gotten stopped out for the very reason EMA is flat. I didn't take this trade today, but that's just what I noticed when I'm going bar by bar. And by this time, let's see, 9:08, so the market's been open for about 40 minutes now. But with the EMA flat like that, yeah, you want to avoid those types of trades. Now I am noticing a little bit of a trading range start to form. Prices shoot up. A lot of congestion. These bars, overlapping bars. That's really exactly what this was too. Overlapping bars, EMA cutting right through the bars. It's best not to take trades there. So that's just something to train the eye on. As we get this break, we're attempting to get a new low. But once these bars start to overlap, especially you get this doji and you're getting bearish bars above the EMA, prices really don't know what they're doing. Strong move up, back down below EMA. Yeah, you want to stay out of that. Okay, EMA is remaining relatively flat. Breaking out to the top side here, we had that new low first entry, and the second entry low already triggered. Second entry short. Now what are we looking at here? I'm seeing prices move above EMA. Let's see if we can get some sort of trend line drawn in here. We want prices holding though. Starting from where they start to move upwards. Okay, prices are holding neatly. Starting the trend below, right below this bullish bar. Hogging prices nicely as it moves up. New high. first entry long. That's also a break. So we had this trend move up, first entry long, looking for a good signal bar to go long, second entry long. We didn't get it. As prices reverse, they're coming back down below the EMA, falling back into this trading range, right? We need more data before we extend this range, but it's definitely something to consider. We're not looking to go long below this EMA, so I'm not looking to take that second entry long. Prices come back up. This could be a failure. First entry, second entry long. The next bar fails. It's a big bar, 27 ticks, but that's an aggressive one that people could, take. Your stop would be pretty big. Never triggers. There's also new low first entry, second entry short if it triggers. And again, I'm not looking to trade necessarily. We had this break, new low, first entry, second entry short. I am very hesitant to go short. But we're still looking for this big low, right? We had this big trend break, looking for that new low to form. And we might get it, we might not, but it's still worth noting because of how many touches we have on this channel. So again, top, first entry long, second entry long, it ticks one up, it traps everyone trying to go long, and it fails. When I look at it like that, it's aggressive. But if you manage to trade and you can even, if you were to enter here, you're entered, you're in, you would have scalped out. I didn't take that trade, but when I go back and I look at it, that's what I see. And if we were to extend this range, you would see prices are pushing right through this trading range, right? It's not really being respected too much. So until we get more data, I'm not going to extend the range. Same with this one, right? Prices came back down maybe to test the top of this resistance, but then they bounced up. All right, now as prices continue to push lower here, we want to draw a channel starting from the top, first swing, but prices aren't really holding neatly. And even if we extended it, we don't want our channels too long or too wide. We want to try and find a nice tighter channel. And if we did this, what about this swing with these prices holding? This could be a potential one we're looking at. Prices holding neatly. New low, first entry, second entry short. Um, First entry short, second entry short failure. It's also a higher low. Yeah, I don't like trading counter trend. I don't think I would take this trade, but some people might take this higher low after this failure, right? New low, first entry short, second entry short, failure. This signal bar, nice strong bullish, also a higher low. Returning back to this EMA because prices are going to do their best to pull back to this EMA. It's a magnet. And that would have worked for some people. Again, I don't think I would have traded because we would be trading counter trend. Even after having this break of this downtrend break, potentially looking for a new low. But at the same time, prices need to return back to the EMA, and prices have moved pretty far down from the EMA. So just something to consider. Prices coming back up to test. Okay, first entry, second entry short. Around this time, it's kind of hard to count a second entry short, but I would be interested in taking a lower high. If okay, that was a pretty strong bar, but if prices had pulled back here and we get a nice bearish bar down, it doesn't go above here, we get a nice lower high, I would look at taking that. Now, what are we looking at here? We're looking at prices that started to move up, break, and a new high. That's at least simple price action that I see. Break and new high. Price is pushing back down below EMA. Also had a potential break of this bigger channel, but at the same time, it wasn't confirmed. We have one, two, not necessarily a third touch. So this bigger channel, this wider channel, I'm hesitant. It's not necessarily confirmed. Prices continue to push down, and what I should have done, I do have to extend this. Okay, so yeah. And every now and then, zoom out of your chart, see how it looks. What happened to my range here? Oh, almost looks like that is the range. But yeah, zoom out of your chart and see this wide one, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. What else could we have here from the highs that incorporate this? We don't necessarily want to do that. I think right now we just have to deal with this one. New high off the first swing. Continue to see what happens. We have a new high first entry, second entry long, but we're not looking to go long here at the bottom, not in this downtrend. Continue new low. Prices continue to make new lows. So as prices continue to make new lows, we could be dealing with a bigger trend, right? We could be looking at something bigger. New low. First entry short. New low. First entry short. Okay, we could get a nice setup here. So we have a nice short-term trend working up. First entry short coming back up, ticking second entry short. We had a short-term trend up, break, attempt at a new high. Prices are holding below this EMA. That's second entry. If it triggers below this bar, that's just a trade we have to take based on the rules. It ticks down, traps traders, and moves back up, unfortunately. I think we can't forget about this overall bigger trend, right? We had the break and we've been looking for a new low. It looks like we got to that new low. I had to pause the recording for 1 second. So we had this break and new low, and when did we get that new low? Probably around this area, right? That's that new low. Broke one more time. So I think if you zoomed out and you saw the overall trend, you saw that we already received our new low, people would have been hesitant to go low here. But, overall, it's a pretty bearish day. Prices have been moving down. They attempted to move up and it just couldn't do it. Prices are continuing to go down. So in my mind, I'd still be thinking we're still looking at a bearish day. STT up, break, new high. This is the new high of the short-term trend. So we didn't necessarily get it here, but we're getting it here. So even if this was a new low of the swing, first entry, second entry short, you'd have to re-enter. This bullish bar pushing up above EMA, prices tick up, trap all these traders trying to go long, it reverses, and there's that move that moves down. And after this swing, right, even if we have just this is more data, right? More data. That's 3 touches. 3 touches of this channel. Price is doing their best to hold neatly within this channel. Prices move down. And they continue. Starting from the top, first entry long, second entry long here at the bottom. That's not what we're looking to take. New low, first entry, second entry short, but we're too far. We're just a little too far from the EMA. I'm not looking to go short here. Now prices tick up and down. I'm seeing a lot of stems start to form. So this is where I'm thinking, okay, barbed wire. This is stuff we got to stay out of. Price is really trying to push up and down. This is where people get chopped up right here. Some people are like, oh, second entry long, right? This is marks the second entry long of this high. First entry, second entry long. If some people tried trading this early, they would have gotten stopped out. Another second entry long that works, but it's some works, some don't. Even this second entry short, first entry, second entry short, it traps people and then it'll stop you out. The other thing we notice is for this overall big trend, the momentum of the prices are not reaching the bottom of this channel. So it's something to know. We could be reversing. Prices could move back up. We have a new low here. First entry short. And what I'm thinking is we could be moving long. If prices hold above this EMA, we could be looking for a long opportunity. First entry short, second entry short failure. I'm hoping, and we don't get it. Prices are continuing to rally up. And for this overall downtrend, we could have reached, we had that break and moved to a new low. That could be it. This could be the end of the downtrend. And if prices hold above EMA, we could reverse and continue back up. That's what I'm thinking in this moment. Prices holding the channel that I drew. Slight adjustments you can make, as you get more data. We're not looking to go short into this EMA anymore. Downtrend already played out. New high, first entry long. So new high, first entry long, second entry long if it ticks above this bar. And while it is a doji bar, it's still it's a bullish doji bar. Prices started here, tried pushing down to the EMA. Prices held at EMA and pushed back up. I'm going to go long here. We also had a break of this short-term uptrend. Break, looking for that new high in what we think is a reversal back to the upside. That's a risk I'm going to take. And there's a nice, you would have entered, and you would have scalped out. Prices continue to move up. Very nice. Now I ask myself if I saw this, but then I saw this bar. If you didn't want to enter on this one, you could maybe even argue entering on this one. Another long stem, prices hold above EMA, still looking for this new high. If you didn't enter on this one, you could enter on that bar too. And prices continue to move up. Now, as we continue to move up, right, we had this break in new high, our price is going to reverse down. The only way we'll be able to find out is we have to see how prices are going to react when they come to the EMA. So prices come down. How are they reacting at EMA? It looks like exactly what I said. We had a break of this short-term uptrend, break, new high, and now we're looking for prices to reverse below EMA. We have a new high here. We don't even have a first entry long. When we're moving down like this, I'd be looking for a failure to the downside. So price is moving down. That's the first entry long. And there's the number 2 for a second entry long. It triggers. Price is coming back up to the EMA. We want to see how they're affected. Okay. So when I see that signal bar, what am I thinking? Could we have dealt with a short-term trend down break, possibly new low, first entry long, second entry long to the EMA, and failure for this bar? If I saw this, I stopped trading. When did I stop trading? I stopped trading, I think, around 10, probably after this section here is when I stopped. So I don't know exactly what happens, but I would argue that that could be a good trade. This uptrend played out. Now we're looking for the downtrend to play out. Break, looking for a new low. Okay. If you got in this, you would have scalped out 1775 down to 1425. It's 3 points. Is it 3 points? Wait. It's just short of 3 points. 4 points. Okay, so you would have scalped out if you managed to enter that trade. And it makes sense, right? When we look at it, downtrend, you start from the top, you mark this channel off the first swing. So you want it touching that first swing, and then you want prices holding in between. And then as we get more data, you could say, okay, that could be, if we move it just a little bit like that, prices are holding nicely, new low. Don't get a second entry short, but I treated this as a failed second entry long. So that means we failed to go long off that second entry long. 1, First entry long, second entry long, failure. Price is holding below EMA. That's a trade I'm taking. So we had a break and new low. So downtrend played out. This short-term downtrend played out. Price is moving back up to the EMA. Now they push above EMA. Immediately come back down to test the bottom here. And, it's kind of moving fast, but we had a new low. So downtrend played out. New low. First entry short, second entry short. Down here at the EMA, when you see this green bar, after this downtrend played out, I'd argue potentially going long here. The only thing is I'm starting to see these prices, potentially at least, potentially making a range, right? It's still a little early. We need a little bit more data because it's not necessarily holding the best, but that is something that I would be thinking about. Enter long here. People would have scalped out off that failed second entry short. First entry short, second entry short, failure after a downtrend played out. And I should be extending this more. New high, first entry long. Price is coming back down. We need a good bar to go long if that's what we were thinking. Right off that first swing is what we have to do. We want prices holding neatly. Just a potential trend line to draw. Some people could even say, okay, maybe it's something like this. Potentially, I don't know. It doesn't look that great. Prices aren't holding the best. Let's get more data. Let's see. We got to see what happens here before we start confirming trend lines. Okay, so a new high, first entry long, continues to make higher highs. Let's see what we have here. As prices continue to make higher highs, could we be seeing something maybe like this? Prices holding at the top. Extend. It looks to be respecting the top of this channel. This could be it. So we have a new high, first entry long. We want prices. We wanted prices coming back down in the EMA. Nice signal bar. We would have gone along there. No entry really. Even if you had a new low, first entry short, second entry short, but second entry short failure. But you're not at the EMA. You're not at a key entry point, which would be this channel that you have drawn in. I should probably, zoom out, see what we're looking at, right? Prices came, break, new low, tried for a reversal to go back long, didn't work, came back down. Now prices are reversing. Prices are holding above EMA. We could be moving to the top of this range. It could be just a range day, When we extend this, bit of an overshoot. We had a new high, first entry long. But I don't even know if I'm looking to go long necessarily. I want to see how prices react here. See, this is what I was afraid of. Because this is, if prices trigger above this bar, it would be a second entry long. The one issue I have with it is prices broke to the top side of this channel that I have drawn in. It's an overshoot. And overshoots generate momentum to the opposite side of the channel. So we have a new high, first entry long. Prices pull back to the EMA, finish with a nice signal bar, second entry long. The good thing about it is you are at it. If prices continue to move up, you're confirming this channel off these lows. You have 1, 2 swing, 3 swing. It's an aggressive one. I'm sure some people took it. Let's see how prices play out. You would have got that win. You would have got that trade. First entry, second entry short, confirming this channel in an uptrend. The only thing is that this overshoot generates momentum to the downside. That's the only thing I would be worried about. Trying to push back top of this channel. We had a new low, first entry short, second entry short, failure. I'm not looking to trade anything just yet. I want to see what kind of, with this extra data that we have, could we actually be looking at something like this? Price is still holding. I don't want to say we had a break of this channel yet, because it doesn't look like it. New high, first entry long, price is coming back down, doji bars, big bearish bar. That's a clear break of the trend line. So prices were holding a bit, then they broke. And we had first entry long, second entry long. We could be looking at a second entry long failure. That's a second entry long. We're also looking for a new high off this short-term trend up. We get that new high. So once we have a new high, we had a break, new high. We're looking for prices to come back to the EMA and see how they're affected. Prices coming, tempting to come back down, kind of chopping down, but no trades to go long. First entry, second entry long fails. I'm not looking to trade that. So we had a break new high. Let me just bring this back. Break new high. Price is coming back down. This could be a lower high that some people have took. I looked at it a little bit late. But first entry, second entry long failure, and that move is happening. And as this move is happening in real time, people are drawing in their trend lines, right? People are drawing in their trend lines, and people would argue, hey, when you see this price closed below EMA, try coming back up, and it never closed above EMA, came back down, lower high. Some people are going to take that, and they would have gotten the scalp. Maybe even a nice runner on this one if you managed to get in. Price is coming back up to the EMA, mark new low. Breaks above would have stopped any runners out that people had here. Break of the short-term trend, looking for a new low. That's a first entry short, second entry short. Wow. So new low, first entry short, second entry short, looking for a new low of the short-term trend after an uptrend played out. Are people going to take this? I would argue yes. People are going to take that, trying to go short. The only thing is you're closing almost on top of you're almost closing on top of the EMA. You're not closing above it, you're not closing above it, below it. You're closing basically on it. And with these bars starting to overlap just a little bit, people would be a little bit hesitant, and I could understand why. But you also have a short-term trend of this break moving up. Break, attempt to make a new high, and prices fall, and you would have gotten that scalp. Aggressive, but some people could take that. New low, first entry short, second entry short, and by then the day's played out. Now a lot of people would have been done trading a lot earlier, but that's just the setup that I saw based on this price action. So overall, are you going to win every trade? You're not going to be able to win every trade in this market. Unfortunately, it's too volatile. It can be stressful sometimes. You'll slip up, you'll lose a trade. But what we want to do is minimize the losses that we have. We're not always going to have green days. We're going to have red days. But the secret is minimizing the number of red days that we have in order to protect our capital. Ultimately, that's what I saw for the day. Prices continue to trend up back in the middle of this trading range. Overall, that's the price action for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I see there are definitely people that are watching my videos. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, comment your thoughts at any point in the video, what you were thinking about during that time. Help me out, help me become a better trader. Because that's why I do it. I do it to try and share my knowledge and share what I see, but I also want to try and get some feedback on what other people see. Also, make sure that you turn on your post notifications so that as soon as I post these videos, you guys are able to see them and watch at your own leisure. So, thanks again for watching. Thanks for trading with me today. And until tomorrow, thanks.